you guys doing? This is Cindy from A Game Latte, and I've missed you guys. I haven't been around last week because actually I was pretty pooped out. I have been doing some renovating work in my basement still, and it's coming along pretty well. It's almost done, which is exciting, but I was really tired, so I wasn't very motivated to do anything. But anyway, this week I've got lots of videos coming, at least 2. Today is going to be all about Mass Effect, yes again, because I'm very excited about Mass Effect 3 coming out. So I have a lot to say about it, and I have been hanging out at the Bioware social network forums quite a bit. So that's why I'm all obsessed with it. And I have been playing some Star Wars The Old Republic, and I will do a video on that possibly tomorrow. So watch for that. Tomorrow will be Tuesday. Today's Monday. So you might be seeing this video tomorrow and then so forth. Just because it takes so long for these videos to upload to YouTube. But also what I'm drinking today, I'm drinking a milkshake. Yeah. Well, that's not a milkshake, I'm sorry. It's a float. It looks like a milkshake, but it's really a float. It's Pepsi, and it's got some frozen yogurt, cappuccino flavored. Yeah, and it's pretty awesome. Loving it. Okay, first order of business, Mass Effect. Oh, I want to do a little correction on one of my past videos where I was talking about the challenges, and I was under the impression that because we were getting 3 different modes of playing the game, that the challenge modes were gone. That's apparently not the case. I've been corrected since then, so thank you. And what I've been told is happening. Now, I'm not 100% sure on that. Maybe it's not, but I know we are getting the demo out in February the 14th for Valentine's Day. So check for that, and until then, once we get the demo, we'll be able to tell for sure, I'm guessing. Alright, so the 3 modes, the 3 main modes that you can pick are, again, story, RPG, and action. Real fast, in story mode, it's basically focus on the story and cutscenes and your choices. The choices you get to make in the dialogue. With, the combat is really easy. As long as you try, you won't die, basically. Okay, RPG is what we're more used to, where you got all the cutscenes and the choices, yes, but you also have a bit more of a challenge when it comes to combat. Action mode, strip down the story. I don't think you can pick your dialogue anymore. It's just automatic. And combat is, again, more challenging. Now, if you pick RPG, you get to pick between... I don't think there's a casual mode anymore. So you get automatically go to veteran, hardcore, or insanity, nightmare, blah, blah, blah. So there are still going to be challenge modes at least in the RPG mode, as long as you select that one. But when it comes to action or story, you don't get those anymore, because those are two totally different way of playing the game. At least that's the understanding. Maybe that's not how it works, but we'll figure it out later. So I just wanted to add that to my last video. Okay, so my next topic is Mass Effect Deception, the new novel. And this, unfortunately, is going to be a bit of a rant. And I'm not one to actually go around and bash things and say, oh, how horrible things are. I'm not. But this one deserves it. Now, before I go further, you should know that I'm a huge Mass Effect fan. I've got all the novels. I've got all the comics. Anything that's Mass Effect on it, I will get. I just ordered a shell jacket with the N7 logo on it, and I want the art book. And, I want everything Mass Effect. I'm even going to get a hat even. As I go along and I get a little bit more money set aside, I'm probably going to get, a whole crap load of Mass Effect stuff. That's how much I like this franchise. This intellectual property. So, for me to put down something, Mass Effect, is a big deal. Alright, first of all, you should know about this book is that it's not written by Drew Karpyshyn. Drew Karpyshyn was I'm sorry if I'm totally not saying his last name wrong. I'm sorry, Drew. I just, I don't always pronounce things right, as you might know. But from you guys that watch my channel. Anyway, he was the lead writer of Mass Effect 1. He wrote all the novels so far except for Deception. He was not involved in the comics though, that's okay. He co-wrote Mass Effect 2 with Mac Walters, and since then Mac Walters has taken over lead writer, and he's doing all the lead writing for Mass Effect 3. Now they have other writers too, they've got a team, but anyway, he's the lead writer. Drew has, I believe he was the lead writer on the original Knights of the Old Republic, right? And they've, maybe because of this, or I don't know why, but he's moved on to SWTOR, to Star Wars The Old Republic. So that's what he's doing right now. So of course he can't do both projects at the same time, and he's been writing the Old Republic novels. The Revan novel was written by him. The Rule of Two was, Darth Bane or something was written by him. So, you know, he's got a lot on his plate. He can't just, you know, be everywhere at once, unfortunately. Fortunately for us. So anyway, that's the story there. Mass Effect Deception is written by William C. Dietz, which is not a Mass Effect writer at all. He's been contracted by Bioware. He is a writer. He's written other tie-in books and all that. So that's the first thing you should know, is that the author is different. And this author is not as heavily invested in the Mass Effect universe as Drew was, or as Mac is, or any of the other writers, alright? He has played the game. That is for sure. It's evident by the way he's writing. I mean, he can tell you exactly how he plays when he's writing the novel, and that's one of the problems, is when you're reading the action scenes, it's like watching someone play a video game, which to say it's not that good. It's nothing like reading, let's say, R.A. Salvatore when he describes combat. It's nothing like that. It's not artistic at all. So it's not descriptive. It's just very to the point. It's very, not even that. I don't know how to explain it. It's not that good anyway. That's the first thing. The second thing is the way he just describes things is very simplistic. It's like, I know maybe he's trying to, you know, take into account that not everyone has read all of the books. But if you're reading a Mass Effect book, you probably know about the game, or you've probably read, you know, played the game. You know a lot of the stuff already, but he goes on and explains things, goes into depth about little things that really don't matter, that we really don't care about, or that we already know. So we don't need all this, you know. And the way that he explains it, it's as if he's explaining it to a 5-year-old. So it's not very, it makes us feel like we're stupid, basically. And that's the second problem, is just the way the book is written, is it's not written with any flair whatsoever. I've heard the word, or the it described as ham-fisted. So if you're familiar with that expression, you know what they're talking about. Now, those aren't even the biggest problem. I can even deal with that if that was just the only problems. But no. The big problem is, I'm looking at a Google document here that was written by fans from the Bioware social network. This has been put together. Actually, I have something in there, but somebody else took credit for it, so whatever. But anyway, there is approximately, I think 67, possibly 68 errors in this book. And these are canonical errors. So these are the canon mistakes. These are the things that we know about these characters, that we know about these races, that we know about how the science works, how, you know, in this universe, how, you know, ESO works, how all this stuff, all this technology works, and it's been completely either retconned or forgotten or not taken into account, or just plain wrong. Just plain wrong. And it, so just to name a few things, okay, first of all, he says that, first of all, he puts canon or decisions by Shepard that may or may not be canon into the book, which is a big no-no. You never do that. Like, for example, Anderson being the counselor in Retribution, that's actually never said. All Drew says is that Anderson had a position at the Citadel, but it doesn't say that he was the counselor or not. Same here. It says, but in this book it says that the council is alive, first of all, which may or may not be true. And it says that, it doesn't even say that Udina is the human council member, even though even though he's really described. Okay, but anyway, that I don't find that to be that big of a deal. What is a big deal is that one of the main characters from Retribution, and spoilers, spoiler alert, if you don't want to be spoiled, if you haven't read those books, stop now. Okay, Jillian Grayson from Ascension and Retribution is autistic. And Drew did a very good job at describing how an autistic person reacts to the world and thinks. And for some reason, Jillian's autism is completely omitted. It says that she had a temper as a child and she grew out of it. And she didn't have a temper. She has a condition, man. This is how she is. You don't grow out of that, ever. So you might get a little better, but you don't go out of being autistic. That's just part of who you are. And the way that she's describing her personality is completely off charts. It's completely different from what it used to be. Handel Mitra is another character that's been bastardized. He was a homosexual. He was gay. Or, well, it doesn't say that black on white. What it does say is Callie says that Handel is not attracted to women. So basically, you know. And but in this book, he's hitting on women and checking them out and just being kind of a jerk, actually. So that was destroyed, and his character is kind of a jerk. And in the other books, he's actually really conscientious. He's actually reminds me a lot of Caden and Lenko from the Mass Effect games, because he's very focused and he's very careful with his powers and managing his powers and all that. In this book, you can... Oh, the other thing too, yeah, in Deception, you don't have to manage your biotic powers. You can just throw biotic powers here and there, and then you pass out. In the lore of Mass Effect, I mean, to be able to pull off biotic abilities, you need to have a lot of energy, and you can't just throw out all kinds of stuff everywhere. And so anyway, there was a bunch of stuff about Arya. Tim's hideout. Oh, the elusive man's hideout. We know from the game, we know from Retribution, that the elusive man is hiding on a space station that moves. In this book, he's on a planet. He's sedentary. He doesn't move ever. But that's... No, in the canon, the elusive man is on a space station that moves location every single time a new person visits, because he doesn't want to be found out. So, and there's a bunch of other things. I mean, oh, there's no kinetic barriers for some reason in these hard suits, when we know from the games again and from the other books that there are definitely kinetic barriers in all of the hard suits that you wear, all of the armor. So, Kay Lang, his character has been completely broken down to petty thug, which he is not. He's supposed to be this, like, amazing killer assassin. So when you see him in Mass Effect 3, goodness, do not think of Deception if you even read this book. But anyway, I'm not going to go on and on, but it's even Arya. Arya's canon history and background has been ignored, or this person did not know who Arya is or supposed to be, and it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. I do not recommend you read this book at all. You can read Retribution, Ascension. I recommend the Dark Horse comics. They're awesome. They're superb, really. If you need anything, if you just want quick reads and you don't have time for novels, read the comics. They are really worth it, because especially the one with the elusive man, because they put a lot of things in perspective. I've talked about the elusive man before and reading the comics, and I highly recommend that. This book, don't read it, because it will basically destroy your understanding of Mass Effect, and I kid not. And again, this is not like me to say stuff like that, but the errors in this book is absolutely flooring. It's outstanding. So anyway, so that's my, we're at 15 minutes now. Alright, I'm gonna stop. This is my rant for the day, my Mass Effect video. Tomorrow I'm going to record myself playing some SWTOR. So stay tuned for that. I hope you enjoyed, and feel free to share more errors, or what do you think of Mass Effect Deception, or if you like the book even, if you want to defend it, go to town. Go to town. And anyway, let me know in the comments. See you later. Bye.